Hey Street Fighters, welcome to the show. Street Fight Radio, Wednesday night basement show. Thanks for being here, watching along if you're on the live stream. YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, Twitch. We see y'all on the monitor. I hope you enjoy the festive antlers I'm wearing right now. For those of you that don't know who we are, my name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quimby. We are Street Fight Radio, the #1 anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. We are here to spread dissent and disruption across the entire flat earth. We want working people to get their voices heard and bring down all of the hierarchies that oppress every single one of us. Thank you for being here and enjoying what we do. We got a lot going on this week. Our first episode of Street Sharks Tank came out. We had Drew Toothpaste on to watch an episode of Street Sharks. You can watch that over.
We had him on to watch
Street Sharks. Watch Shark Tank. You can watch that over on Patreon.com, the $5 video level. There's also episodes of Undercover Business Tyrant where we watch Undercover Boss and talk shit to the CEOs and defend the employees. It's a lot of fun and people are really enjoying it. Let us know what you think if you're watching out there. We love to read your comments. You can also hear us on Sunday. This Sunday, are you going to do it, Brian?
As of right now, I'm going to do the call-in show Sunday by myself.
It's my wife's birthday, but we've been out of town the last 3 Sundays. Haven't been able to do the show, but this Sunday we are going to be taking calls once again. That number to dial is 614-412-5252. Sunday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get in there and talk Brian's ear off.
Hell yeah. Get some calls in. Still only doing 3 hours. But who knows how many people are going to call after taking 3 weeks off.
We have some big news. The West Coast is happening a month from now. We're going to be visiting Seattle, doing a show on January 5th. We're going to do Eugene, Oregon on January 6th. We're going to do Portland on the 6th, right? Oh man, how do I not know this?
I don't know. You don't want to open that rabbit hole.
I think the 5th was Seattle. The 6th was Portland. 7 was Eugene. Yes. 8th we're on the road. 9th we're in Oakland. 10th we're on the road. 12th we're doing LA. That is your tour dates. Head to store.streetfightradio.com to get tickets or check Facebook for those events. They will have some of the links. We'll put it on all of our social media. And of course, I'll make an official Patreon post and spread the word whenever I get all that information. But we're ready to come and party on the West Coast where the weed is legal.
Yeah, we're going to all legal weed places. So that's a very good trip.
I'll rip a bong to that.
Yeah, rip a bong to it. So what's going on? We're in the Christmas season. This is
It's the holiday season
where Street Fight shines. Generally, I'm not in it. But this year, I'm shooting to be in it.
You got a bonus.
I did.
That's what decides whether you're a Christmas person or not, whether or not you get a bonus.
Right. If you have a little bit of extra money, then that money doesn't kick you in the nuts. Right. You know, like I'm not broke yet because I got a little extra money and it was able to. I mean, I'm still
Street Fight bonus.
Yeah, and I'm spending it like shit. I've spent a lot of it. Because I'm trying to make everybody's Christmas extra special this year. Because I mean, here's the truth. We've put off a lot of Christmases over the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years because I haven't had a real fucking job. You know? I haven't made any money for years. And this money had to come from somewhere. And it just wasn't easy. But this year we make more. I make a little more than I made as a cable guy. And I want to do what I did. I want to do a real Christmas. I want to, my daughter to get a bunch of stuff, but I went out and I went real hard on Katie and Brett. Are the 2 people I went hardest on outside of the kid.
Interesting.
I did. I'm like, I want everybody to be like, oh my God, well, not like that, but I just want people to be excited that they got a good gift. And if I had to pick 2 people in the world that are very important to me that aren't the kid, it's you and Katie, basically so married to both of you,
Very sweet. I love it. I remember, or somebody recently actually emailed and said they were cracking up because I had on that elf sweatshirt on one of the recent live feeds, and they're like, I guess the war on Christmas is over. And I do feel like a lot of new people probably were surprised to see my very enthusiastic sharing of Christmas music on like our social media feeds. But it's just one of those things that is fucking unavoidable. Christmas is going to happen whether you like it or not. So I just got to swim with the current and enjoy the shit out of Christmas in my own way.
And again, for people that... look, I know why people hate Christmas. Because I'm generally that person.
Well, you done some good broke-ass Christmas hacks, though. You did a good one that I really enjoyed was you gave us fresh-made vanilla extract. Artisanal vanilla extract.
Yeah, that's a great present. Everybody loves that.
It was great. I use it on my baking. But it was cheap, too. All you have to do is buy a bottle of 151 and some vanilla beans, right?
I think it was Everclear and vanilla beans or some shit like that. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I did give apple pie moonshine one year that I made myself.
That was a good one.
My dream was to make a gift basket for everybody that had apple pie moonshine and a zip gun in it. Because I just thought that would be the coolest fucking gift. Like, that is so my aesthetic.
Sure.
Is apple pie moonshine and a zip gun.
Right.
Vape pen, maybe? But I didn't. I was very obsessed with zip guns for a period. For the real hardcore Street Fight listeners, you know that the very early shows had a lot of zip gun references.
Right.
But I have to, if you are lucky enough to be having good fortune,
yes,
then there's no reason to hate it.
Sure.
Now, I also know what it's like to be stressed about this thing. There are a lot of fucking people out there, dude, that have a kid and they don't have, I mean, you spend year after year, and I did this. This is the first year this happened. My daughter's a teenager, right? Where you just buy a bunch of stuff for the kid and nobody else gets anything. You don't get anything. Right. I didn't get anything.
Right.
My wife didn't get anything. She got everything.
Right.
And when people said, what can I buy you? You say, buy her shit. Don't buy it for me. And you just put it aside. And it saps some of the excitement away from Christmas. A lot of us say, I mean, even if giving is better than receiving or whatever like that, even if it's that and you can't give anybody anything worth a shit, that feels bad. It feels real fucking shitty to do. As a person, you know?
Yeah.
And you just want to be thoughtful. And even if you buy somebody gift cards, you want those to be about something special. And like something that you know a person loves, you know? Because I don't think it's wrong to buy gift cards for people. I think I like gift cards for like restaurants and shit like that. I love that shit. I remember back when I used to drink Starbucks every day. It was awesome to get like $50 in Starburst. Well, $50 in Starburst would be nice.
Yeah.
Give me a lot of them red ones, man.
The red?
No pinks, all reds.
Wow.
They make an all reds bag now, dude.
I know. They make all pink, too.
Pink sucks.
Pink?
Yeah, red's
one of the better.
Or lemon. I like lemon and orange, too.
I like all of them, to be honest.
All but pink. All but pink for me. Not a pink guy.
You're trying to draw a line in the sand there.
No.
This
That's
is
not
the
what
conventional choice in Starburst.
It's not the
it's
conventional.
Like everybody, all the kids go to first.
No,
know?
That's why I liked grape popsicles when I was a kid. Purple popsicles.
Yeah.
Because every kid hated them. So I was like, my favorite one's the purple ones.
Who hated grape?
People in my corner, in my circles, hated grape and orange. So I always went grape and orange.
I always the citrus fruits were always the least. Like orange is usually left behind.
Yeah.
Lime especially. I used to get down with the greens.
The most true, the most true comedy bit is the Dave Chappelle one where the guy's like, "I'll have the grape stuff," because I was like, "What do you mean, Sonny D, man? Give me the grape stuff."
Yeah.
Always made, but I just like Christmas is such a weird time of year because it is a time where you're supposed to come up with more money.
Yeah.
That they're not giving you, and they're constantly tightening up about, and you get no help on this.
No, and people are going into crazy credit card debt over it, like maxing them out, which is stupid.
It's stupid, but there's so much pressure. There's so much fucking pressure on this, you know?
Yeah.
I always have felt Christmas since I've been probably 25 has only felt like pressure.
Yeah, I mean, that's most things to you, though, I feel like.
Yeah, after Christmas, I have other pressures.
Yeah, you just
it's
do
always
pressure.
No, I guess I'm hard on myself a little bit, and like
Not a lot of it.
a little.
Okay.
Nah, because I think good things about myself too, but at times I'm a little hard on myself, and I just think like you're just. Here's what I think. And don't fall into this trap, listeners, because this isn't true. Because this isn't true with me.
Learn from his foibles.
Don't think that people are don't think that people are that anxious to get something important from you. Does that make sense? Like, because like, I don't feel that way. When somebody hands me something as a gift, I generally am like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You handed me a gift. Gift is the operative word. It's just it's sort of like
freebie.
thank you. Yeah, it's a free thing. Thank you for that. And you thought about me enough. You cared about me enough that you felt like I was in your circle and gave me a gift. You know? Sure. Now, this doesn't count for the gifts your bosses and shit give you at work, because those are garbage. Like they'll give you a water bottle. My wife was just telling me this story. She forgot her water bottle at home. And she said, I had to use one of the ones the boss gives you. She's got like a drawer of water bottles at work that they give you while you're at work for different prizes and shit like that.
Yeah, cut your lips and shit.
She's like, they're all gross and all of them have BPH in them.
Yeah. They can't even get you the BPA free ones?
Yeah, they don't even get you the BPH free ones.
No.
Like, that's how much they think of you. First of all, it's... For me, a fucking insult to give me a water bottle with your company logo on it as my gift. Or as a reward. Here's your reward. You worked your ass off. You know what? Tammy? You put in an all-nighter. You worked 48 hours this weekend. And it's incredible that you stayed all night and you made sure that all this work got done when we were under such an immense deadline. Have a water bottle.
Yeah.
With BPH in it.
No, you need to go to the store and buy me one of them Swill water bottles.
Right!
I can't justify buying for myself.
You ever think about the linemen and stuff that go out in like the snow and ice storm and they fix, and then
Glenn Campbell wrote a great song about them.
Yeah, and then in the end, your prize is that you got a shirt that says you survived the fucking ice storm. That's like what you get, you know?
It's your trophy.
What a shitty fucking give them money. I know they get paid to be out there and they get stuff to be out there, but honestly, like,
I don't know. You got to earn that glory, man. You got to earn that T-shirt. You got to be out there hanging fucking lines up, right?
Most of those guys don't want that T-shirt. They just wear it to work.
I want the T-shirt. I wish I could earn that T-shirt. Like, we can't get like 8 years of podcast. I survived 8 years of podcasting T-shirts, can we?
We did just book our first vacation. We have a vacation coming in 2019. So sorry to everybody. 8 years without a vacation, which a lot of people have done. That's not a special thing. It's just we're doing it this year. But those guys like are not. They're missing like whole times with their family, right? And they're working their asses off in dangerous conditions. And like there's still some guy that sits in a fucking office that is making like 500 times what they make.
Right.
That is what drives me. That's what makes me so nuts about like that hierarchy. Is like, oh my God, but what the people that are actually doing shit, they just, because you know what? Your CEO gets a Christmas bonus too. I'll bet you anything. Yeah, I'll bet you anything. Everybody at the top of that ladder there, everybody that sits at the table and gets yelled at by the CEO, they all get a bonus.
Yeah.
It's just the regular workers that don't get shit from them. And yeah,
I mean, you got to pay up. I mean, what kind of company are you? You want your people to have, you want to have your employees running around town telling everybody we had a great Christmas this year or not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that should look bad on you, right?
Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened, like, even in the age of social media, you would think there would be some way that employees could shame their business. But maybe we're also beaten down that we don't want to shame our business.
I mean, I don't know. I go and look back at the numbers, too, about when they talk about 40, 50 years ago, how far your money went and how much college was, you know? Like, college was like $500 in our money.
I know. College was like a car payment back in the day.
Yeah.
Now it's like a limo payment.
It's,
it's so like a private jet.
I don't know. I can't make any sense of that stuff. But yeah, I believe at one point, and this is what I don't understand about the older generations, and this is why they don't like us, is that we keep bringing it up like, weren't you supposed to, was it like, isn't in your crazy traditional idea, like one income supposed to hold down a whole household, right?
No, it also, a whole household with a white picket fence.
Yeah.
And 2.5 kids.
Yeah.
Right?
And TVs and cars and all that stuff.
Yes. Greatest nation in the world.
We've fallen,
Cable.
We're not even close to that anymore. Everything's on credit. Everything exists in a cloud now. Like, nothing is real.
Cable with Showtime. You get Showtime and Stars too with your cable in the American dream.
Yeah, we are just getting less every single year. I saw some new metrics they were doing in regards to how many people are living beneath the median income, and we are, leading the pack as far as, people that are just barely above the poverty level,
Yeah. I mean, I also recently, I read something in one of those Columbus blogs things that Nationwide laid off, like, I think it was 1,500 people.
Right.
Like, right before Thanksgiving. And in the article, it was like, why would you fucking lay people off like that right before the holidays? And they were like, well, we wanted to get them laid off before they thought they had money to spend on the holidays. It's like, oh my God.
I kind of respect that, because otherwise I would have been like, Christmas, like, get it. Let's do this big time.
We wanted to ruin their holiday preemptively.
Then in January, they're like, you don't have money anymore.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
You shouldn't be allowed to lay off 1,500 people, Brett. That is the thing.
You're too commie about controlling about shit.
It's not controlling.
You want to make rules about everything.
You should be, if we're going to have to do this and work to live, they should be responsible for helping you find the next thing, I guess is how I feel. 1,500 people, dude, just 1,500 people don't have a job anymore, and they were released back into the workforce.
Yeah, but they're not helpless. They didn't cut off their arms and legs after they fired them.
Yeah, I know that, but they also, like, basically a new 1,500 people don't have a job
right
now.
Right.
And who knows how they're going to find another job if there is some... Like, it just feels like you shouldn't be able to just take somebody's livelihood like that, I mean, these people are being fired for performance, dude. Usually these people are being fired because they got to a point where they make an amount of money that the company doesn't want to pay anymore.
Yeah, we're CEO. They always switch out CEOs and then shit changes drastically. Mm-hmm. And it usually slides downhill.
Maybe you don't even have to find them another job, but there's no safety net for that sort of thing, really. There's unemployment, which is humiliating, and it's also kind of...
Humiliating?
A lot of people find unemployment humiliating. Like going in and telling, these are the jobs I went and looked for this week and asking for it.
You don't have to go in nowhere.
They make you go in to, like, re-justify.
You got to call on the phone.
Okay. Well, nobody wants to do that. I don't want to do that.
For free money, I will. If all I have to do is call on the phone and then you send me a check, I will do that.
Okay. But they shouldn't... I think... I don't know. There should be something bigger than what unemployment currently is. I don't think even unemployment covers you for like 6 months, right?
I don't know how much it is now.
I think it's like 6 months or maybe even 90 days. If you can't find a job in 6 months, which is definitely possible that you wouldn't be able to find a job in 6 months. And like, I know that it's a crazy thing to do, to be like, I'm going to make this money for the rest of my life. But we all think like that. It's just the way that, like, I mean, I don't think that. I always think one day money's not going to mean anything, and they're just going to come up with new money that the rich people only have.
Sure.
Like, I have all of that going on up here.
They've already done enough as it is.
I know. But like, I don't think that I'm guaranteed to have money for the rest of my life, and I never will think that. But a lot of people do get a job that should be secure, that should be like there, and that they're safe in.
But most of the jobs are fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, most of these jobs shouldn't even fucking exist in the first place.
I know. That's why there should be something else.
They're just made up.
Yeah. That's why there should be something there. There needs to be something. Either you gotta, like, raise the social welfare,
right,
like, stuff, or you have to, like, make sure that every single person has a job. If you don't do one of those two, then there's nothing. There's just absolutely nothing, and people just fall through the cracks. And I know that, like, conservative people are always like, well, they deserve to. But, like, they don't ever think of the end of that thing where they get cut off of food stamps, they get cut off of unemployment, and then they don't have anything. And then what happens then after that? If they didn't get a job and they have a family, let's just say, like, what happens after that? And I just want something to be in place where, like, you can't fucking, a CEO can't make an arbitrary decision to lay off 1,500 people, and then those 1,500 people are fucked.
Yeah, that's true, and that's actually, and that's something that someone in my family who's close to 60 years old lost a career type position like that recently, and that's one of those things where that is scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Because you're like towards the end of your, I mean, even me being in my 30s and trying to prepare for the future, it's like I'm so fucking far behind.
Yeah.
You know, but being close to 60 and being in that boat is just, you know.
And they just say you're on your own. You're on your own once they cut you. And
right.
You're not, I mean, if you're 60 years old, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're 60 years old, you're not making what you made at that job.
Yeah.
Those days are fucking over.
Yeah.
Because they just don't hire 60-year-olds. Like, these jobs that pay good money don't
right.
really hire 60-year-olds.
Yeah, there's a lot of ageism in the workplace.
Oh
and then
God.
we don't and then we also all live like we're going to be James Dean or something and just, you know, not be old.
That's how I live. I'm like, I'll die before I'm old.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know.
No, there shouldn't be any sort of planning or setting aside money for the future right now if you're not going to need it, you know. But once you get there, we all should have something in mind for
right.
each other.
Well,
it's just one of those things where it's like this is what pisses me off about this. What makes me a sovereign citizen is that I hate that I was thrown into this contract when, like, I'm totally down to do contracts. I'm totally down to, like, chip in to some people that have at least a better fucking idea than what rules our life right now. I mean, god damn it, it's just the worst possible way to do it. And they're not even thinking about shit that concerns us.
Mm-hmm. No, they fucking sit around and think about, like fucking other countries, like, governments and stuff like that. They're like, we gotta fix this. You know, they don't think... I mean, they build new prisons. Like, everything that they do for us is they just build another prison.
Yeah, they're like, wow, we'll throw you in jail if you don't follow the rules.
Their whole thing is like, well, we've given a lot of thought to where you're going to stay, and we think a prison would be the place.
Let me tell you, let me give you some old school street fight talking about zip guns, man. I got a parking infraction today that I got to let you know about.
Okay, I need to know about this. First of all, parking infractions are bullshit. You shouldn't... We've talked about this a lot, and we still haven't fit. This is one of our least thought out things, but parking tickets are bullshit. Like, they're just bullshit. But we know why they do it. We're trying to figure out, like, my thing on this side is, let's figure out a way to reward the people for the good parking so that the bad people want to be good people and park right.
Okay.
Instead of punishing the bad people
give them
for
like,
parking badly.
Give them, like, Coke reward points or something.
Every time you park, you can go to the meter and press a button and it'll give you a ticket. And that ticket can be transferred into... money? Like, it's like worth a penny or less than a fucking penny. 1/2 of a penny. And every time you park right, you get 1/2 of a penny.
No, so, like, it's worth, okay, so you get a ticket that's worth like $2 and then you have 90 minutes, and then depending on when you cash it back in, you could lose all that money, or if you use half of it, you'd get, like, you know, $1 out of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You get...
Yeah. There used to be those stamps that you got at the grocery store that you could stick on a little thing and you get to a deal on something. Like, it'll be like you get 10% off your next order, you know? That was like a real old school. Nobody that's listening to the show remembers the stamps.
that's pretty old.
Pre-loyalty card.
Sure.
Okay, this was like, and I never collected the stamps. Normal people didn't collect the stamps either, by the way. Brett is the type of person that would have collected the stamps. But you would have if you were an adult.
Yes, I would have got stamps.
You love stuff like that.
I would have actually, every time I left the grocery store, peeked into the trash to see if someone threw their stamps away.
Yeah, that's your shit. You love that. If something's worth money, Brett's like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But that's what the parking reward system could be. Because taking $100 away from somebody for parking shitty sucks.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Maybe $15?
What could you do?
$15.
Could
That
you
sucks.
offer to move it for him?
That's what we need. You know, the way I run things, just letting you know, the way I run things is like, if you're just like, Brian, you're in charge of this city now, like in Sim City, and you got to deal with parking. I'll be like, we're getting rid of parking tickets, but if you park bad, I'm going to have a city guy come and tow you somewhere where you don't know where your car is, and you have to go find it.
Oh, damn.
I'm going to take your car and park it in a legal parking spot. And then you have to go find it. And that'll stop people from parking badly. I'm sure of it.
Okay.
That would suck. Right?
Yeah, but then the rules suck though, because
It's a good rule.
There's no they shouldn't be any of these fucking rules, dude.
There should be. Parking is a problem.
It's not.
It is.
No, because these fucking they won't let you just use a spot for a few minutes. They'll come and tow you if you stop somewhere for 10 minutes.
I agree with that. Like, there needs to be like an amount of time that they have to wait before they can hook your, like, they should have to stand there for 10 minutes before they can hook your car up. How's that? The thing is, we can't.
They can just tow you to a spot and let you know where it's at. I think there should just be no money involved. It's like, hey, you parked like an asshole. We dragged it to our lot. You can go pick up your stuff. That's it.
I just think that that's maybe true. I could probably even go with that.
You're trying to steal people's cars and shit.
I know. That's the cool thing. It's like it turns it all into a little game, too. You know?
I don't like that.
But you can't. I'm sorry. I'm not a big Law and Order guy.
You sound pretty big Law and Order right now. You're wielding a big stick.
People will fucking park. I mean, people will park anywhere, dude. Like, if there was no parking laws at all, fucking people would park in front of your driveway every day. Every day.
It would be fine. You can drive out through your fucking lawn and drive over the curb pretty easy. You just drive across your lawn into your neighbor's driveway and go down. It's easy.
Okay, yeah.
I'm done with the bureaucracy. And listen to this.
Public transportation, though, somebody in the chat said this, and every time I bring up this sort of thing, they're like, public transportation will solve it. And I totally fucking agree with that. And in a world that I was running, there would also be public transportation, 1. And 2, if you're just traveling around the city, don't bring your fucking car. You're fucking public transpo.
Okay.
From here on out. You're forced to.
Okay. So.
A lot of rules I have.
Is this illegal? I don't feel like they told me this was illegal when in driving school. I parked on the other side of the road, facing the other direction.
Dumb. No, you can't do that, dude. You're going to the weed guy.
Well, how is that illegal? How is that illegal?
It just is here.
What does it cause, though? What's the problem?
It's a custom that you're breaking. I agree with you. I don't think it's a problem.
It's not dangerous to anybody.
But it's like...
Parallel parking between two inanimate objects is the same regardless of whether the direction they're facing.
You're playing a game, dude. Right? Every minute of your life is a game. And like every minute, we are left of center, Jason. Sorry.
About the parking ticket.
Oh, yeah, you're left of center, he said. But you're fine. That's right. Yeah, you're just on the wrong side of the street, dude. You're on the wrong side of the road.
There's no side on that road because there's only one lane down the middle that goes both ways.
Okay, I agree with you.
So every street in fucking Columbus downtown is 3 lanes with 2 rows of cars parked on the side, and then you just have to do the chicken game with other people. And then basically what happens is folks passive aggressively pull over to the side of the road and then fucking cuss at you. Like, yeah, that's right, you fucking cockroach. You have to go somewhere. I guess you're so fucking important. I'm supposed to pull over here and sit behind this Miata.
I don't know. I'm saying this. Like, there are customs here, and they're weird, and they're stupid, and you're living a life in a game. And I totally agree with you that this shouldn't be illegal, but you played the game wrong, dude. I've never parked like that.
That's not the rules of the game.
I'd play the game every time. I would never do that. Never. You know what I would never do? I'll say this. Somebody came, when Alex came to stay at my house over the weekend that the Chapo guys were here, there's a whole side of the road by my house where nobody's parked, and he parked there. And on the other side, there's people parked all the way down the road. I had to go out and be like, you can't park there. They're going to come and move your car. And for me, I'd be like, there's no cars here. I can't park here. Sure. Like, I just am really conscious. I actually have this idea for an app that people are going to steal now. I can guarantee that. But I came up with this idea for an app for myself where you hold it up to the sign and it tells you whether you can park there now or not. Oh. And like, people think, oh God, just read the fucking sign. I never understand the signs.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Number one. And number two, if you go to a place like Washington, D.C. or New York, there's 400 signs on everything and you never know. This is an idea that I came up with in my mind that I know is impossible to invent.
No, it's not. It's like Google Translate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that app. You just, put it over top and it'll give you a thumbs up or down.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what you should do. Can I fucking park here? Yes or no?
This is totally absurd. This is a money grab. This is a complete injustice.
Well,
I can park however the fuck I want.
I also want to say this for the listeners. Brett, where you parked, the part of town that you parked in also means something.
What? Kids?
Yeah, they bully those kids.
They're going after,
dude.
Yeah,
those fucking cops.
College kids won't fight back.
Yeah, they bully the shit out of those kids. They're always fucking busting them for jaywalking. They'll fucking stand around down there on campus and just wait for people to jaywalk every spring. When school comes back, that's what they do, and every winter. Those kids, they just soak them for fucking money because they figure they're going to get it from their parents. It's a revenue stream over there. You can't park your car for more than 5 or 10 minutes without it getting towed in a spot. And, like, every business has cameras outside. Like, there's a McDonald's there that they're having people towed constantly.
Yeah.
You know? And those kids, they just don't care about those people. Like, you're on campus. You just need to, like, have yourself in a mindset when you're on Ohio State campus. The police are, like, there's a lot of them there, and they're really into the infractions there.
Yeah.
It's like a broken windows, like, policing sort of thing in a way with because it's not, they're not, like, busting people for felonies, and I'm not saying that they're searching people for weed there, but it's just, $15 here, $100 here, $115 here. They're just, everybody's getting fined there constantly. And there's extra enforcement there. And whether that's because they feel like they can get money out of the kids, or if it's because I think that's what it is, obviously. Like, anytime you get busted for parking the way you did, which is just the wrong way on a street, anytime you get busted for that...
It's not the wrong way. I can go that direction on the street. It's just that the side of the road is normally going in a different direction.
Right. I don't know why it's illegal, Brett. I can't tell you.
I can't think of
why. But you
why.
did it, and I know it's illegal. And I mentioned it. We even fucking talked about this in Pittsburgh. When I said, these motherfuckers will just park any way they want to. It's crazy. Yeah. No wonder you didn't say anything like, oh, yeah, that's weird. Because you're like, I park wherever I want to.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing.
So, how much is the ticket?
It's like $25.
Okay. That's not, it's bullshit. I'm not sticking up for the city, okay?
Yeah, I could get a lot for $25.
Just breaking customs, you're just a customs breaker. That's all it is.
No respect.
All right. I want to talk about a politician now. It's not somebody. I'm not a voter, and I'm not endorsing a politician, especially a Democrat. I have to like do all this stuff now because people are automatically like, you're a fucking sellout.
You're not a voter?
I don't want to be. I did.
Right.
You know, but you know I don't want to be a voter.
Okay.
You know me. Come on, buddy. Tell them I'm not a voter.
I don't know. You're pretty law and order these
I voted
days.
one. I know.
You're trying to take people's cars, tow people's car away from them.
No, that's an idea that I have. That's a deterrent.
Sure.
To get people to not do
It's
things
like a slap
that
on the
annoy
wrist
me.
is
Yeah.
what- yeah.
And it's like a game. It's like gamifying society in a weird way.
Sure.
It's like, you parked wrong. I'm going to come and move your car somewhere, and then you're going to... It'll just be in like a little 5-mile radius.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Everybody's got LoJack on their car now anyway.
Do they?
Well, I mean, they would get that. If they were,
Okay.
if you're an illegal parker...
Right.
At least it's not costing you any money. You could put one of those things you put on your keys. Like, so that you don't lose your keys ever.
Right,
You know what?
right,
They're
right.
selling them like crazy. They're the hot Christmas gift this year.
Yeah.
You put one of those on your car, boom, and then you can just park illegally anytime you want.
Yep. Yep.
That's a workaround.
True.
It's actually kind of comfortable too. You just get to roll out and do it, you know? So anyway, I am not a fan of any politicians. I'm not a fan of any Democrats. But something that has been sort of, I guess, I don't know how well it's working, but Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has been saying a lot of stuff in public and being paid attention to that I think are good things to have out there.
Yeah.
You know, and something that happened, this news story, I got it from Business Insider, and it's something that I hit on the way in, and I thought it was it's interesting. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a newly elected U.S. House Representative, called out her future colleagues in Congress, including Democrats, for paying their low-level staffers salaries below the living wage and for employing unpaid interns, even as members of Congress are paid multiple times more than the average American.
Tight.
The incoming New York Democrat, who took service industry jobs to support herself and her family in the years before she ran for office, tweeted on Monday that she met congressional staffers who wait tables to supplement their government wages. This week, I went to a dive spot in D.C. for some late-night food. I chatted up the staff. Several bartenders, managers, and servers currently work in Senate and House offices, she wrote.
damn.
This is a disgrace. Because, you know, they put a lot of work on those people, too. I mean, I'm sure they're detestable people that are doing this. I'm not, defending them. But they do... That's where who does the work.
Right.
Do you think, like, Lindsey Graham is doing anything? You know, he just goes there and then somebody tells him all the stuff he's supposed to know, and then he doesn't.
Yeah.
These guys shoot from the hip all day. That's all it is. I can do what they do.
I want to shoot from the hip.
I do, too. You could just go... Anybody could do what they do.
Yeah, we need to get a bunch of unpaid interns. Then we can become like House of Representatives status.
So then this other thing comes up, right? Actually, let's finish the story. I'll go to the next thing, which I loved because it like really spoke to me. But Ocasio-Cortez said Congress should raise wages for staffers so they can afford to continue living in Washington, one of the most expensive cities in the country. The 29-year-old elected lawmaker has said she can't afford a D.C. apartment before her $174,000 congressional salary kicks in January. It's unjust for Congress to budget a living wage for ourselves, yet rely on unpaid interns and underpaid overworked staff just because Republicans want to make a statement about fiscal responsibility, she added in another tweet. Like, these are things that, this is what I want to hear.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
is exactly the kind of stuff that I want to hear in public and, like, people talking about. Because this is not just, you know, this is pro-worker, I guess. You know, and this makes me feel like these guys, these people are doing work.
Well, and this is what we have in common with so many of the people that we're trying to reach out to and you know, create this broader movement and even convert. I mean, I would love to see more people come our direction and like just acknowledging their status as like a person that does a job, you know, works all the time, has no money at the fucking end of the week, you know.
Right, it's a constant devaluing of work, too.
Right.
There's never the right type of low-level job. None of these jobs are the right type, like, bottom-level entry job. It's like, you shouldn't be in there that long. Then you'll make money. And, you know, again, these are some people, there are a lot of these people that are doing this for free.
Yeah.
How can you let somebody do that for you for free? Let people do work for you for free like that. House members are paid between $174,000 and $223,500 a year, and 40% of senators and representatives are millionaires, according to a March 2018 roll call report. The median American household income was $59,039 in 2017, according to the census. This is the part I wanted to get to. Ocasio-Cortez's tweet came just a few hours after a reporter said Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, another New York Democrat, is hiring an unpaid intern. And her message may have made an immediate impact because later on Monday, Schumer's office announced the job posting had been made in error and his interns will be paid a stipend in the new Congress.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it sucks that people... That's a hard thing about doing what we do, is that it just racks me with guilt on, like, how much is enough to pay somebody to do something for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's hard not to think about that kind of stuff and not figure out a way to do it the right way. Like, it's the same thing with the T-shirts. Like, I would love to just make a brand new slogan from the show every single week and go on Teespring and just have people go buy shitloads of them. But there just doesn't, like, people don't get paid decent money to do that, you know? Why would I go into the process of making a fucking shirt if the people that make the shirt can't, you know, afford to live?
Right,
know?
the exact people that we want to help.
Right.
The exact people we sit around and talk about need to be paid more, need to be treated well, and then we're selling their labor too. We're exploiting their labor too. I mean, when you said these shirts are union made, I was like, I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
You know? That's as close as, like...
It's expensive as fuck, but, like,
yeah.
I know where the money's going.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that makes it worth it.
It's not even like to brag about something like that, but it's like these Democrats.
Well, it's just I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying, as a business owner, as someone that does want to have as much money, to be in control of as much money as some of these people are, to use for my own nefarious fucking reasons.
Yeah,
like the organization, like you have to care about your fucking people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I think the thing is these people...
Well, how would you expect someone to be a fucking bartender all night long and then come in and do a decent job for you the next day?
That is... I mean, I don't even think about it because they don't care.
Why would I put my work in the hands of somebody I mean, unless they're, you know, abusing drugs or prescription Adderall, something like that. I mean, it's just fucking absurd, man.
Well, yeah, and it's because you don't exist to your employer when you're not there. So when you're not at work, your employer thinks you're like, they flip a switch and you turn off and you sit in a little thing.
Yeah.
They don't fucking care if you're going. I mean, I remember all the years that me and my wife were both working full-time jobs and had to work at a pizza shop every Friday and Saturday night just to make a little bit of money. And it's like, why wasn't my employer like if my employer gave a shit about me and they were like, God damn, man, you gotta work at a pizza shop to make this up?
Yeah, like, what do you need?
Yeah.
It looks like you're making, you know, $5 an hour there. You know, can we give you an extra $60 on your fucking paycheck?
Yeah, yeah. But no, you can't even ask for that anymore. That's something like from like the 50s movies and shit like that, or like even like 70s movie where they would be like, go in, ask for a raise. I'm like, that ain't how they do it, man.
Yeah,
a lot of people are on like there's a track. They just can't do it. It's just the raises happen at this time every year. I've never in my life, which maybe that says something about me, felt as though I could go into my job at any of the corporations I worked at and just ask for a raise.
But you actually could have.
And got it?
Yes.
I don't...
The people that do is get them.
I don't feel like that was ever like a possibility. I had never heard of anybody doing it.
Right. It happens.
It happens. But they just don't talk about it?
Who? No, the company doesn't want you to go in there and ask. No, they don't want you to, but you can, and there's people that can make decisions to do that.
I always feel like that's all kind of mechanized. It's like all formalized now. It's just a thing where you get it every year. They give you your raise, and it's a certain amount of money.
You let the man beat you down. Like
I did. I really
believe
did.
Their fucking lies.
I don't think that I am. I guess I don't think I'm
a
minority
decent employee
here.
though. You have to be worth it. I mean, you have to be able to back it up and not fuck up.
That's true. Maybe it's because I've never gone.
You can choose to fuck up and just get like a raise on, you know, 1% raise every 6 months or whatever they promise. But
right. I've never gone in and said I quit. And then they were like, wait a minute, what can we do to keep you here? They like, whoo!
Yeah. Sure. Well, yeah.
Maybe that's true. Because I do know, for example, my sister has been very good at bargaining more from her job over and over again. It's never, I wonder how many people are like me in that regard. Like, I really think that, like, I might be in like sort of a majority situation here of people who feel like it's just uncouth even to ask for a raise.
Sure.
You know, you're asking me for more money? No. That's not what we're here for. Yeah. We're here for the work to get done.
Yeah, and it's not a hard and fast rule that you can always bargain, because that's not the case. There are places where, you know, I've said before that I talked about wanting to make more money, and then they just fucking fired me.
That's small business.
Yeah,
don't ever do that in a small business.
Sure. I mean, you have to know when to play your cards, but with a small business tyrant, you're dealing with more like you have to fuck with them emotionally in the way that they deal with the world. So you're going to have to get some sort of leverage on them in like a dysfunctional family type way. It's not as much as just being bold enough to ask. You know, you're going to have to get some dirt on them and hold it against them, or find something in the back room and keep a secret, you know.
Holy shit. Can I read this thing from the chat real quick?
Sure.
Today was the day my job forced me to participate in a poverty simulator. A bunch of us got to treat managers who make more than us like they were poor.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. I'm not into that.
All I think about is just taking a really big chain and going in the middle of that room and just whipping everybody out of it.
Yeah.
Just beating the crap out of everybody who thought about that.
I mean, the poverty simulator thing is it doesn't work. It's not a real thing. Like when Morgan Spurlock came to Columbus and lived on minimum wage.
Right.
He really did it, and he really went for it. But you can never capture the desperation of actually not having the money when you get through on the other side of this month. Like, I don't have...
months on end,
right.
Years on end.
I had nothing to look forward to for a lot of years. Like, there wasn't going to be a vacation. I wasn't going to get out of this and do something. And, you know, you see, like, Fox News talking about how poor people have Xboxes and stuff. It's like,
it's like the only escape you can get from the fucking reality that you're forced into. You can't leave the house, you know?
Yeah, everything
costs money if you leave the fucking house.
Yeah, especially in the winter.
Don't get stuck out of the house for 5 hours because you're going to be hungry, and that costs money.
Don't get stuck out of the house for 5... Dude, you could bring food with you. If you're stuck out of the house for 5 hours, you're going to spend $1 at least. Money's going to come out, dude. They charge you for water now. Which I found out, actually, that pubs in England or whatever, if you go in and ask for a cup of water, they have to give it to you. They got to have a bathroom, and they got to have water that you can use. Because I'm very high on this after our situation that happened on the way to Pittsburgh. I was very pissed off. So let me tell this story about us on the way to Pittsburgh. So we're driving into Pittsburgh, and there's signs on the side of the highway for people that have done road trips. You know, the signs on the side of the highway that say, like, there's a fucking Wendy's here, there's a Chipotle here, there's a Starbucks, there's a Shell station, and there's whatever. You know, gas food lodging is what the signs are called. And what happened was we saw one that said Sunoco, and Brett and Jason were crying like babies because they had to pee.
Yeah, I'm
pissing
like a
clear.
Couple of children. Pissing clear these days. Yeah. I'm getting so much water intake. My skin is beautiful.
I was driving with my 2 sons in the car, my 2 4-year-old sons, and I had to pull over so that they could pee
because our winkies hurt.
Their winkies hurt. And so I was like, okay, we're going to pull over and we can all go we can all go pee. Well, we pulled over to the Sunoco. We got in. We started to get the gas. And Jason went to go pee inside. And the woman basically told him that their toilet can't handle our 7 liters of pee.
Yeah.
They saw three robust, large men getting ready to come in and destroy their toilet with pee.
We're walking bow-legged because our balls are just like bursting with piss.
So we have to go to the fucking bathroom. And she says there's no bathroom.
It's closed.
It's closed.
It's fucked up in there, is what she said.
I don't care.
She didn't say that.
Okay, yeah, it's fucked up in there. Y'all gonna
fucked up in there.
You guys are gonna flood this place with your disgusting pee. I can see you. I know from looking at you, you have gross pee. They probably looked at Brett and they were like, "This guy eats all these vegetables, man. That vegetable pee is horrible."
I got crystal clear, 99% pure pee.
Asparagus.
It's only like 0.01% urea in that shit. It's mostly water.
You're fucking disgusting, man. So anyway, Jason comes out, like, he's a strong man and he does what he needs to do, and he was like, I'm just gonna pee on the side of the building.
Yeah.
That's not an insult to anybody.
No.
Humans have to pee. They take stuff in to live, and some of that stuff has to come out. That's how pee works.
And also, it's better to pee on the side of a building than to pee into like 1.3 gallons of water and then flush that down a pipe.
I will agree with that. It is better to pee outside. That's why I do it all the time. That's why I pee off the side of my porch instead of going upstairs to pee all the time. But, so the woman comes running out of the store. Yeah. She had the "may I speak to your manager" hairdo, too. She was heavy may I speak to your manager" vibes.
Really wild fake eyelashes.
Yeah. And she said, "There's cameras all around this building. If you pee out here, my boss is going to be watching on the camera, and she's going to call the police, and they'll be here and arrest you." Now, you're going to say, there's no way the police could get there. She's not watching. There's no way the police could get there before you're done taking a piss. One, I would say that sometimes a piss takes a lot longer when you're like trying to... It always
does. What was that show we left?
The Whitesburg.
When we left the Trillbilly show, we went and like got Taco Bell, slammed it, and then we're both like, we have to pee so bad right now. So we stood, doors open, and just like pissed down next to the door while the door was open. And about 90 seconds in, I was like, this is too much exposure right now. Yeah. I feel like we're about to get a fucking charge. Yeah. I feel like we're about to get our first public indecency arrest on tour right now.
Yeah, and getting busted with your dick out is like actually extra bad, I guess. Like even if you're just peeing, people have gotten like some pretty rough charges for that.
Yeah, in Kentucky they don't take kindly to that.
Yeah, Kentucky, there ain't no cops in Kentucky want to see your pee-pee.
Right.
That's just the fact of life. So,
oh God, that pee took forever.
And I also kind of felt like even if we had gotten out of there, somebody could have pulled us over down the road for pissing.
Yeah, no, they could have called. They could have called ahead. You never know what you're getting into.
Yeah,
and especially some lady smoking. What is that? What is that? What are they doing? They're pissing on my fucking building. Are you kidding me?
Who cares if people? I grew up in a house that I peed on every single day. There was, the white paint on the side, like when the basement, we lived in a split level, and half of it was concrete and the other half was siding, and it was white paint, and that shit was yellow because all these boys was out there playing basketball and taking a piss on the side of the house all day.
Yeah. The grass does a better job filtering it, I think.
Oh, I love peeing on something, though.
Oh, okay.
To, like, really get it up there and, like, be pointing it at stuff and shit.
Okay. Firing it like a gun.
Just, whoa, look at all that pee everywhere. But, yeah, so they...
just, like, spin in circles while you pee.
So...
Just, like, tight circles, like a ballet spin.
So, all of a sudden, like, so when I got home, it really radicalized me to make it so there's a law that if you run a business, because if you run a business, you are not allowed to say you can smoke in here because it's a public business. You operate in the public sphere.
Sure.
So the government is allowed to say you're not allowed to smoke in this business. That is a law that's been made. I don't love it, but it is a law that's been made. Okay?
Got it.
They should be able to also make the law that you have to have a bathroom. You can't say bathrooms are for customers only. You just have to let people have to be allowed to go in and use your bathroom. If you want to have a business and you want to be connected to the municipal plumbing and you want to be like all that stuff, if you want to be connected to the world and part of a civilization, you have to let people pee. Because there's a bathroom in every fucking building. Where does she piss? Where does she go to the bathroom?
Who?
The woman that works in the Sunoco. Where does she go to the fucking bathroom? Was she
true.
pee in a little cup behind the table?
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
There's a fucking bathroom in there. And especially if you want your sign on the outside of the they do free that's the computer people. They do advertising.
Take the discount.
They do free advertising for that Sunoco.
Yeah.
On that sign because it's a roadside service.
Yeah.
And it should be a place where I can pee. They should take the Sunoco sign off that sign if you're not allowed to pee there.
Yeah. We're going to drop 8 liters of piss off.
Yeah.
We needed a depot.
I'm making this law. And then when somebody told me that in England...
Like turned into a dictator.
I am a dictator. When somebody said in England that they have to give you a cup of water, I'm like, you know what? Yeah. They should have to give you a fucking cup of water, too. You should be able to go into any place and get water that serves water.
Sure.
You shouldn't have to buy anything to get water. You need water to live, and you can't hold your pee in indefinitely. Okay. Like, that's what happens in fucking New York. You're walking around New York, you can't fucking pee anywhere. Every place is like, don't come in here and pee. It's like, fuck you.
Right.
I have to.
Really... Right.
It's not a choice I'm making. I don't want to come in your business and pee. I'm not like, oh God, I can't wait to get out today and pee in a bunch of public restrooms.
Can't wait to get that free hand soap.
Yeah. And they're really worried about twos. Like doo-doos.
Sure.
But still, doo-doo is something people got to do too.
Yeah, people are bad about that though.
Yeah, they don't handle their doo-doos right in public.
Yeah.
I agree.
People get too wild with it.
So I saw this story today from Newsweek, and I thought we'd talk about it a little bit just because of the type of, just because it's something that like had occurred to me at one point that I wanted to say, and it's about Michelle Obama.
Okay.
All right, folks, right now we're going to identify with Michelle Obama. She's going to have said something.
Okay.
That we need to take to heart, take heed and take to heart, okay? Former First Lady Michelle Obama confessed she still suffers from imposter syndrome, even as her memoir, Becoming, broke sales records last month and became the year's best-selling book 15 days after it was published. The former First Lady opened up about how the struggle with self-doubt never goes away. During a sold-out talk with Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie in London... It's close. In London, which drew lines of tens of thousands of people. Asked at the event how Obama felt about being seen as a symbol of hope, she said, "I still have a little imposter syndrome. It never goes away that you're actually listening to me," according to the BBC. Like, I wanted to bring this up because this is the sort of thing that, like, Street Fight to me is a way to it's kind of the anarchist feeling behind Street Fight in a way, is to let people know that, like, we all don't feel like we belong. We all are still finding our way in the world. Like, people, like, when you go to your job and you think that everybody's doing better than you, that's not necessarily true. And you think you're the person that doesn't belong at your job, or you don't think you're qualified to do what you're supposed to do. Like, that's something that I always try to get across to people. Like, we all feel that way. That's a very common thing. And I think that when we can get that across to people, we can, like, that's when we can start organizing. That's when we start to feel our self-worth, you know? And, like, I just read this story and it made me think of that. And she also said that another thing that she said is that when she sits around a table, and this isn't true, but when she sits around a table, that none of those people that are running are any smarter than anybody else. They're just all doing. When she sits at these tables with all these powerful people, it's still just a bunch of human beings.
Yeah.
And none of them are, like, super smart. And it's something that, like, I've kind of learned by meeting people that, like, meeting other people that do what we do, or talking to comedians and stuff like that, that, like, I used to think that they were some special second level kind of human in a way.
Yeah.
But now I realize that we're all kind of doing the same stuff.
See, but it's weird to say that it goes away. You can make it go away. I don't know why she would still feel that way.
Well, for her, yeah, yeah, you're right. She shouldn't, I mean, she's rich and famous and who cares how she feels, you know? But, like, I just saw the story and was like...
I mean, the thing you just have to come to realize is that the people, that you are doing the things that your title says that you do, like, you shouldn't apply the sort of negative self-doubt to it at all, because you're accomplishing the things that you have done. You know, you've earned it.
Yeah. I agree with that. I never will feel like I earned it. Most people don't feel like they earn anything. Right.
But it's like I feel like an imposter as a podcaster. It's like, how? Because you've done it every single week for 8 years. So you're not imposing on anything. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah,
in a different
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It doesn't feel like and people ask me how to be a podcaster. I'm like, I don't know. I'm fucking trying to be a podcaster. Just do it. You know,
if you do the work, I mean, then you are the thing.
Yeah, but I don't want to call, like, I always have like a weird feeling when I call myself a comedian, even though I make my living touring and telling jokes to people at jobs and do a podcast. Like, I still have trouble saying that. Like, am I really a comedian? You know, I was like a comedian like Don Rickles sort of thing. Right. You know what I mean? Like, am I like in the same class as some other comedians, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that even at the cable company was like, I'm a service tech, and then it's like, I'm just holding on. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm like just doing the job that they give me. I wouldn't consider myself like an actual expert in this, even though I know more than most people, you know? And there was never a job that I had where I felt comfortable. Like, I belonged there, and that I could do that. Like, I was just as qualified as the other people that I worked with. And like, I think that's part of the reason when we talk about people being beat down, like why people don't come out and say, my job's paying me this company's paying me this money, and I got to have a second job, is because they don't feel like they deserve even the job that they have a lot of times. I think that's super common.
Yeah, I just don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Imposter syndrome has become like a buzzword that everybody kind of says they have and kind of adopts as the same affectation. And I think it's like the wrong way to go with that. Like, I have to feel like to push against it, because
I mean, it's not something I don't choose to have imposter syndrome all the time. Like, I didn't choose it for my whole life. It's how I was socialized and how I ended up. I don't like it either. I don't think it's like something that like is like, I don't think that it's like an affect. I think it's something that people feel deep down inside. And I don't think that a lot of people, I don't know that I think that there's a lot of people who are like just saying it because that's what they've heard. It's like, I don't think a lot of people even identify as having imposter syndrome. I'd never heard about it until I started doing this fucking podcast. I had no idea, but it's what I had. It's definitely how I felt the whole time. I always felt like I was on a razor's edge. And I was always, you know, tomorrow's going to be the day I come in and get fired because I'm not supposed to be here. You know, they're not supposed to have let me have this job. And I really think that that's like one of the main things that keeps us from, like, you know, collectively enforcing our power. And like, my goal is to let people know that, like, you're worth something. Like, if you're doing the thing, if you're going to work and you're doing the thing, you're worth something. And that, like, you do have power collectively with the other people, and like, you do belong.
Yeah, see, but that's like why the imposter thing's a misnomer.
Yeah. I mean, I think of it as a mental thing. Like, I don't think it's it's the way that people see themselves. I'm talking about
I understand. But I understand it. I mean, but I'm like, I've heard it. I've read all kinds of think pieces about it. I've seen TED Talks about it. I've heard NPRs about it. Like, I know all about it. The thing.
Okay. All right.
It's just obnoxious as fuck. Like, it's it's like to have somebody else telling you that you can still you know, eventually become like the fucking first lady of the United States and still suffer from that. It's just, I don't know. I don't get it.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't know. Like, I just, it's how I feel. And if you feel like that, it's like, I like totally understand it. Like I'm just saying that it's a real thing that exists that people have, and that I like, my goal is to like sort of alleviate that feeling in people, like to make that feeling go away.
Same, but I don't like it when you make it a buzzword and something you can put on a coffee mug and a T-shirt. People just like sit in it and say that's their problem. And don't
you're right
want
about
to
that. I agree with that. I guess like you're right in that like identifying it as one thing and saying this is the thing, this is what it is, and then creating it, like turning it into like a thing that, like, I guess like I like the name, and I like that it's identified. Yes, like we've identified a behavior that exists in a way of thinking, but like I will agree with you that like there are going to be people who are now like, I'm just a person with imposter syndrome and I can't do anything about it. And I think that's something like I want people to fight it. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be, I don't think it's a permanent thing that can't be stopped.
Right.
You know, I don't think someday I'm going to get self-confidence. It's going to fucking happen.
Right.
You know? And that's going to be really cool. And I'm going to feel like I belong where I am and not like I'm just some guy who's lucky and was like just a guy that was willing to say words that people like. Sure. You know? Sure. But I just don't, you know.
I get it. I understand.
Let's get this story out. I saw this tweet thread this week from Alex Rubinstein. I don't know who he is, so if he's a bad boy, then sorry.
Yeah, we didn't know.
But I want to read this thread because it's people working for Oculus VR and Facebook and like a lot of AI companies and stuff. I just want to read this because I think that like we don't hit this as much as other people, but the tech stuff there's some fucked up shit going on there.
Yeah, it's a weird culture.
Oculus VR founder Palmer Luckey suggests only a radical vocal minority who are never going to be happy oppose Silicon Valley working with the Pentagon on projects like AI-powered drones. That's the first tweet.
Oh, damn.
Palmer Luckey, who may have made as much as $2 billion from Facebook's Oculus acquisition, used his wealth to start a pro-Trump social welfare 501c4 nonprofit dedicated to shit posting in real life. That is in quotes. That's what he said.
Okay.
This isn't like what this guy was saying. He's a shit poster. But somehow gets invited on big-name panels at DoD Silicon Valley Summit. So there was this DoD, Department of Defense and Silicon Valley Summit, where they were talking about AI and drones for the military. And there are a lot of people that work for these companies that are opposed to them. Like, I'm not making weapons.
Sure.
I don't want to come here to fucking make weapons.
Yeah.
I'm not into this. And this guy is like, no, that's just a few people. But I wonder if that's even true, first of all, because a lot of people that I know, or a lot of people in my experience that I've met that are even into like science and the I fucking love science people, you know, are often like anti-war. Like like that they're like, you're killing people stupid. Let's do some Star Trek shit, you know?
Yeah, I have a different thing just because I had two experiences today with old guys that made some sort of suggestion along the lines that everything's going to be robots in the future anyways. So I think a lot of people have already feel like this is the future. I think we've already kind of committed ourselves to being watched by fucking drones at some point. You know, if the police are doing it, like, who's going to complain? Mm-hmm. You know, people love it when the police get more surveillance, you know?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't know, but I could also see like, oh man, I didn't even think, I wanted to make flying helicopters. I didn't even think they would use this for war. You know, like you were just totally zoned out thinking of like fun shit you could, like snowboarding videos you could make with it. And like the guys realized they could put a gun on it.
Like the guy that makes those like those robots that they make in Boston or Massachusetts that are like all like, yeah man, we like made this robot that can put together like a cabinet for you, and they're like, well, you could also, you know, they're just going to turn those into war robots
Right.
to kill people.
Yeah.
You know, I know that there's like people who are like, whoa, it's not going to be robot wars. That doesn't mean that people aren't going to die.
Yeah.
Like, we're the empire. We're the ones with all the money, and we're just going to use the robots to kill poor people.
Right.
And I think that's such a clear thing. Speaking after Trump Troll Farm founder Palmer Luckey at the Defense Forum was Microsoft President Brad Smith, who began by bloviating about cyber and talking about last year's WannaCry malware. In the history of humanity, there had never been a day of warfare quite like that. I don't know what this is, but I think there's been days of warfare that were worse. Microsoft President Brad Smith talks about how the company has responded to employees wary of working with the Defense Department. And this is what he says. Basically, we want our boys to have the best.
Oh, wow. This guy thinks he's Top Gun.
Yeah. Which is like that we want our boys to be able to... What are they using them for? To kill people. That never comes up when we talk about... When they sit down in their little fucking... off in their summit that's on TV on C-SPAN, and it's all sitting there. That it's like such a bloodless way to talk about weapons, where they're like, no, we're putting AI on a drone. We want our boys to have the best stuff, and nobody's ever like the best stuff to do what?
Right.
Kill people. That's what it is. And they'll even say like, well, for war, and it's like, no, it's tools to kill people every time. And the more you invent those, the more they use them. Like, the more things, when they make AI drones, those AI drones are going to be programmed to kill people.
They find a reason.
Yeah. Moderator asked Microsoft President Brad Smith what lessons he learns from employees protesting working with the Pentagon. We've been clear. We're going to provide the U.S. military with access to the best technology, to all the technology we create, full stop. We just said that flat out. So... these guys, I mean, these companies will never be like on our side. It doesn't matter what Bill Gates does. It doesn't, none of that matters.
Where's all the money at, too? I mean, most of the money you have, I mean, this is where science is at, too. Science is controlled mostly by the government at this point because they're the ones that get the most, they're the ones that decide where all the funding goes. They're the ones that are going to decide where all the tech money gets spent.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
And this is what he says. Smith continues, that's the point that we made to our employees, that when we support the military, we are supporting an institution that freed the slaves, liberated the Europeans, and we want Silicon Valley to know just how ethical and honorable a tradition the military has.
Yeah, I mean...
children.
But
children.
that's just what we've been in, man. There's just people love the fucking military, dude.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
You can't do anything.
I know.
I don't know what to do.
I
don't know how to convince people.
Kill. You have to. We have to say the military kills people. Like, we need to keep reminding people that the military is there to kill people. I don't fucking care. Like, what if they do fucking... like Air Force. Like, if they're like, they innovate in air travel and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, and so that they can kill people. Like, all those fucking airplanes have... I mean, all those jets, fighter jets, have guns and bombs on them to kill people. It is an organization that is there to kill people. And we can't. It just... that's how we have to talk about it. Because it doesn't get talked about like that, dude. It's always like... even when it's on TV and they're actually killing people, it's almost kind of a bloodless thing where it's just like, well, they had to go in and kill those people because all the people are, to a person, bad. They get killed in the TV shows when they go out there, or action movies when they go out to kill these people. Only bad guys get killed.
Right.
Nobody else gets killed.
Right.
And like, we're not, they really neutral, because I remember when 9/11 was coming, there was talk about civilian casualties in a lot of those conversations. In 2000 and 2002, 2003, I was more conservative, and I was like under like their sort of spell, but I still heard conversation about civilian casualties. I don't hear that anymore. I really don't hear collateral damage even. I don't hear any of that stuff.
Yeah, well, a lot of the stuff they're doing isn't even considered war anymore. Like, they're just doing shit, and it's...
constantly.
Yeah, but it's not considered a war.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to, you know...
yeah.
You gotta be a real geek to pay attention.
Oh, I know. It's impossible to know, because they just don't talk about war anymore. We don't even talk... we've been doing it for so long that it's just now a thing that we're always doing. it stopped being because like there were times where it felt like we weren't at war. I guess the 90s were peacetime, but we're still doing war all the time.
Yeah, there's still lots of peace war going on.
We're just we're constantly doing peace war all the time. There's so much of it. We just like it's causing. It doesn't solve anything, dude. I know that sounds like John Lennon. It doesn't solve anything, Mate, stop doing the war.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Have a point.
maybe sit down and drink a beer instead of shooting missiles. Missiles. Instead of shooting missiles, maybe we should be shooting peace at people.
Yeah.
I
I think that would work. I think that would solve the problem. It's that easy.
What about instead of bullets, we feed them food, like rice and vegan stuff? Bruv. Hey, bruv. What you gonna do? Shoot everybody to death? I got Australian there a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, we gotta shoot everybody to death. They say death, right?
I don't know.
What,
I
mate?
with a death.
You would just. Why don't we talk ISIS into enjoying a meal with us instead of shooting them all up out there in the woods?
Right.
The woods, the desert. Imagine peace. Oh, mate, peace sells, but who's buying?
Provocative.
It's something I thought of myself.
Yeah.
All right, man, that's it.
That's
we
the show.
done.
Thanks for listening to Street Fight Radio. Hope that someone asked for more British accents from the Street Fight stories, so they got that.
People love it when we talk about our grandmas and our nans and our pawpaws. That's pawpaws us, right?
Pawpaws us.
Oh, me pawpaw. Hello, mate. Me and me pawpaw used to go to the horse races all the time.
Right.
Me and me nan used to eat marmalade.
Have a jigger of whiskey.
You didn't say it the right way.
Oh,
though.
sorry.
Oh, mate.
Have a jigger of whiskey.
Yeah, I have some whiskey. Say your favorite thing, though.
What's that?
Some chavs nicked me baton.
A chav nick me baton.
Me baton.
Yeah.
That's how they sound. Until I go over there, that's how I believe they sound. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. See you next week.
Peace.
Oi, mate. Some chavs nicked me baton. Let's invent a peace gun. Somebody in the chat said that. Why don't we invent